The first of the 15 things poor people do, that the rich don't, is not use their money. Poor people are the ones who use their money to get themselves out of debt, so you know this doesn't apply to them. Welcome aboard, the place where future billionaires comes to get inspired. If you are not subscribed, you are missing out. Like this video so it reaches to more interesting people like you, and comment below what you think. So the second of the 15 things poor people do that the rich don't is not use their money for personal gain. The rich and famous get paid for the things they have, like for example, for being an actor, they pay their agent, their publicist, and for writing a script and then they get paid. However, if you were a poor person, you would need to use your money in such a way that you'd earn some profit, and then you'd be able to pay back the loan you took out. The third of the 15 things poor people do, that the rich don't, is not have a plan for retirement. Many people think that they will just live off the government or on welfare once they are retired, but the truth is that even the richest people in the world work for a living. The fourth of the 15 things poor people do, that the rich don't, is not invest. The rich and famous invest in stocks, bonds, and real estate, while the rest of us just use our money to pay off bills and rent, which is why we end up in this situation. We are just lazy and don't put our money to good use. Finally, the fifth of the 15 things poor people do that the rich don't is not save their money. Most people invest in a CD, certificate of deposit, which is something that they can borrow up to a certain amount of money. The sixth of the 15 things poor people do, that the rich don't, is not save enough money to have any kind of retirement. Nowadays, most people think that retirement is when you can use your money to pay your bills, but the truth is that it's when you use it for investments, like for instance when you go out and buy shares in some real estate and you take a vacation. The seventh of the 15 things poor people do, that the rich people don't, is not safe at all. The reason for this is because they don't have a savings account, which means they haven't put their money to work. Now, I know that this list might not be complete, but this is the general consensus of many people. There are no definite answers, but one thing is for sure, there is a lot of common sense involved here, and most of these things are the very things that the rich and famous do. If you were able to give yourself a millionaire's lifestyle, would you want to? Would you sacrifice everything that is common sense for it? Well, I believe that most wealthy people would, because most people don't know what these things are, and they aren't sure that they actually deserve it. Even if they did, would they actually want to make it? If you are one of those people, then you owe it to yourself to find out what they are and follow through with them. You have been waiting to do this, right? And now is your chance. I am telling you this because the more you understand about being rich, the easier it will be for you to become one. And the more you will benefit from having wealth. One of the most annoying things about poor people is that they seem to have very little self-respect. A common complaint is that they don't have any self-esteem, that they are too dependent on others, and that they don't know what they want in life. When I was a poor teenager, I knew there was something terribly wrong. And even today, I still think about what I would have done if I had been rich, beautiful, or had enough money to go to college. Unfortunately, some people find it hard to distinguish between what they really want and what is necessary to get it. If you want to build your self-esteem, stop being so desperate about money and see how poor people act. See if they look like they truly deserve to be where they are. Are they always fidgeting with their money? Are they always on the lookout for other opportunities to earn money? These are the typical signs of a person who is not having much self-confidence and who lives life with desperation in mind. You can spot these poor people everywhere, on the streets, in shopping malls, in social gatherings, and at work. The most frustrating thing about poor people is that they are able to get by in such a manner. They seem to have their lives, despite the fact that they cannot afford to go anywhere because of financial problems. It's almost as if they live without needing much and they have the luxury to do whatever they want. Their lives are like fairy tales. But even if you have the money, you still need to be more optimistic than the good people. There is no way to expect to have more wealth or to be able to get the things you want easily. In order to improve yourself and become a better person, you should start thinking like the poor people do. Ask yourself if you are doing what you can to give value to your life. If you are, then it is okay to have less. Just make sure that you have done it with kindness and gratitude. If you don't, try to improve yourself before you make another attempt to be poor. The things poor people do to survive do not matter too much. What matters is whether or not they are willing to give it all up. If they are, it will mean you will finally have a lot of respect from them. The only thing you have to watch out for when you are around poor people is when they give you a gift or try to buy you something. You might feel like giving the gift back, but think twice or thrice first before doing so. Remember, if you give a bad gift, you will be taken for granted. You are also not supposed to pay for anything. This includes buying them lunch or gifts, paying for a cab to drive them somewhere or for them to take a vacation, or paying for them to get a car if they don't have one, or going on trips. These are some of the things that poor people do for themselves because they can't afford to, but do not forget that they can't afford to be lazy. They just cannot. Be generous to others. They are always searching for ways to make things easier for themselves and are willing to do what is needed for themselves. Being grateful does not mean they are stupid. People who show compassion will help you realize this. Have you ever heard of the rich don't do that? Have you ever wondered why some people have so much money and are successful and some are not so successful? If you are a person who is just starting out in this world, you might not know it, but you do have some very valuable skills that will help you in this area. The one skill that all the successful people have is discipline. This is not like some other skill that is difficult to learn. It can be learned if you want to. It is just that some people don't want to learn because they are afraid of failure. This is another reason that many people fail in life. They do not have discipline. Many people think that it is good to fail in order to learn. That is where many people go wrong. They think that they can learn from their mistakes. However, failure does not mean that you have no more chances to make it in this world. In fact, you can gain much more from your failures than your successes. You see, successful people are always working towards something. They are always trying to improve themselves and get better at what they do. They are constantly learning new techniques and new ways of achieving their goals. They are constantly going through experiences and overcoming obstacles. Some of the most successful rich people in this world are the ones that never give up. They are the ones who keep looking for new opportunities and new ways of making money. Successful people are constantly improving their skills. They are always improving their knowledge and experience and staying on top of the game. They are constantly trying to find new ideas and new ways of making money and of course staying ahead of the game. If you are ready to become a millionaire, become successful and become the one and only millionaire that the rich don't do, then you will need to change your mindset. You need to change your way of thinking, and change your entire outlook on life. All the wealthy people in the world are able to do this. They are able to overcome all the obstacles and hurdles that stand in their way of achieving their goals. What they did was use discipline and their mindset in order to keep pushing forward, and to keep moving forward. How do you acquire a millionaire mindset? The best way to do it is to take courses on personal development. You can find these courses online or at your local library. The best classes that you will find online will focus on your goals. These classes will teach you the techniques and strategies that you need to use in order to build wealth and abundance in your life. Once you have your wealth mindset, you will then be able to use your wealth to help others. Help them achieve the same things. By doing so, they will also help you achieve your goals. There are no limits to what you can achieve. The key to the wealth mindset is finding someone in your life that is willing to teach you how to get started on building your wealth mindset. If you can find someone that is willing to help you, then you will be able to easily achieve all the things that you want. Having your wealth mindset means that you will never stop trying to improve your skills, and your ability to make money. You will never be satisfied with the things that you currently have. You will always be striving to become better at something, and better yourself. The wealth mindset means that you will become more optimistic and less pessimistic. You will become more open and honest with yourself. You will no longer hide your true self from others. You will be more generous and more loving with those that you know. These things are just some of the many benefits that come with having the wealth mindset. They are simple, but can change your life into something you are proud of.